Hello, my name is Craig. I live on San Juan Island in the state of Washington. This is my Saturn 4x4 that I'm just now beginning to uh, put together. And I got delayed quite a bit because I added onto my house to build my wife a walk-in closet, and a lot of oak cabinetry had to be made. Spent a couple days just getting the dust out of here from the table saw setup. So let me give you a quick rundown of what my approach is going to be. I had built this pretty heavy bench here to set it on. It's made out of 4x8s on pedestal adjustable feet to adjust for my uneven floor. Pretty rigid, and I got some MBO plywood as a countertop, and then the bed itself is bolted at the four corners into the top of the table. I have a bed here of, I believe it's birch 14 ply plywood, and my local hardware store on the island here had this available in 5x5 sheets. So this fit perfectly on the table without having to do anything. So I have, let me give you a little walk around here. On this side, I got a probe that I'll hopefully in the future make use of. Got my emergency stop sensors here. These are a set of fans I'm going to use for a radiator for the cooling of the spindle. And I bought myself a rotary system for the A-axis. This is a 3 kW, I think that's how you say it, spindle here, pretty hefty duty one. This is the adjustable tram plate that goes up onto the Z-axis. And these are spacers for the rack and pinion setup, and some extra stops here for the modification of the emergency stop sensors. So my approach is I've got quite a bit of horizontal workspace in my shop. I built this specifically to house the control systems and to keep things organized. I got this box used off of eBay for 50 bucks. And because of the amount of electronics I'm putting in here, I'm going to remotely put in my power supply in a separate box. This is the power supply here, 70 volt to DC with filters. And so this box is going to mount adjacent here, and I'm going to plumb it in with this electrical 90 here. Put it on the wall. And the cooling fans for both the units. I've got this little 3-inch one here, and over here some 4-inch jobs, I believe. So these will go in the tops, and then in the bottoms I have these little grids here. I'll probably add some more filtration in here. And the electronics themselves, I've got a remote control unit. Of course, none of this works yet, so I'm hoping it will. And dedicated computer here working on Windows. And so my electronics is an ESS smooth stepper. This is the smooth stepper right here. So it works on Ethernet cabling. And this is the breakout board that attaches directly to it. This is a C62. And so everything hooks up by Ethernet cables. And then this is the power supply for the spindle. And so my plan is I'm going to mount these power supplies. I got a 5 volt and 12 volt. I'm going to mount them to the side of the control box. And I'm going to try to avoid, I bought a whole bunch of connectors like you typically see in installations, but that's a lot of soldering joints and a lot of places for things to fail. I've already got enough connections here with the Ethernet cables themselves, and these little modules fit on top of the power units for the motors so that you can directly plug in Ethernet cables. I bought these little units that I'm going to put on standoffs, so you can plug in Ethernet here and raw cables here. So I'm going to bring up the cables with no ends on them directly into the box and then just stab them into the terminal connectors here. I'm trying to make things arranged so that I can easily get to them and have enough room for it. And I got a couple of relays here so I can control additional equipment with 12-volt logic and be able to turn some pretty high voltage things on. And then I got hybrid 5 stepper motors, so this gives a feedback to the control system so that if it misses a step, then it'll shut everything down automatically. So it's supposed to be a little bit better motor. NEMA 34 motors. So that's about it for now. Just in the beginning stages here. Got to developing a good friendship with Dave Faulkner. Back, I believe it's in Louisiana. And that along with Nate, and I hope to get this thing working. So that's it for now.